Michael Harrington did not answer immediately. He studied her the way experienced leaders study unexpected variables. Calm face, still posture, but his attention had shifted completely. Around them, the restaurant continued its quiet rhythm. A birthday candle flickered 2 tables away. Someone laughed softly near the bar. A server dropped a fork and apologized. Normal life continued. But at table 14, something subtle had changed. "Why would you ask that?" he finally said. His voice was not angry. It was precise. Claire did not rush her answer. She adjusted the placement of his coffee cup by half an inch, buying herself a second to choose words carefully. "Because sometimes small details cost people everything," she said quietly. His eyes narrowed slightly, not in suspicion, in evaluation. "Are you in finance?" he asked. "No, information technology." "No," a small pause. "I used to study computer science," she said, "before life required something else." That answer stayed in the air longer than expected. He glanced down at his phone again, opened the email, this time slower. His thumb hovered over the sender address. Claire said nothing. She simply stepped back, the professional 12 inches servers learned to maintain. Present, but not intrusive. He zoomed in on the email domain. Read it once, then again. A faint shift in his expression. So small most people would miss it. Claire did not. "That is not our banking domain," he said quietly. Not to her, to himself. He stood immediately, pulled out his phone, dialed a number. "Evan, I need verification on a transfer authorization email I just received." "Yes, I am forwarding it now. Check the sender routing and security certificate." He ended the call without another word. The table grew quiet. His business guests sensed the change without understanding it. Power recognizes tension the way sailors recognize weather. Claire began to step away. Her part was finished, but his voice stopped her. "Wait." She turned back, neutral expression, hands folded lightly in front of her apron. "How did you notice that?" he asked. She did not answer right away, not because she did not know, because some answers take effort to say without reopening old doors. "My brother taught me," she said finally. "He said mistakes hide in places people assume are correct." Michael studied her again, this time not as staff, as data. What happened to him? The question came out more human than he expected. Claire looked at the table edge. Just for a second. "He trusted the wrong email," she said. "A retirement account. $83,000. Gone in one afternoon." No drama in her voice. No self-pity. Just facts. That made it heavier somehow. His phone rang. He answered immediately. Listened. His jaw tightened slightly. "Cancel it," he said. "Lock all outgoing transfers until I approve them personally." A pause. "Yes, I understand the exposure." He ended the call slowly. Exhaled once. Deep. Controlled. Then he looked at her again. Not past her. At her. "You just saved us from a fraudulent transfer attempt," he said. Claire shook her head slightly. "No, you saved yourself. You checked. Because you spoke." She gave a small polite nod. Nothing more. No pride. No performance. Just acknowledgement. "Why help someone you do not know?" he asked. Claire picked up her tray, balanced it against her hip. "Because someone should have helped my family," she answered softly. Then she walked away. Same quiet steps. Same invisible presence. But this time, the CEO watched her leave. The rest of the evening did not return to normal for Michael Harrington, even though everything around him pretended it had. His guests resumed their conversation about quarterly projections and expansion strategies, but he only half listened. Numbers usually held his full attention. Tonight, his thoughts kept drifting back to a waitress who had noticed what his own security filters had not flagged yet. Across the dining room, Claire Bennett continued working as if nothing unusual had happened. Taking orders, delivering desserts, refilling water glasses before anyone asked. The same quiet efficiency, the same steady movements. No sign she understood she had just prevented a 7-figure mistake. That interested him more than the warning itself. Most people would have stayed, asked questions, waited for recognition. She disappeared back into the rhythm of her job. That told him more about her than any resume could. 30 minutes later, his phone buzzed again. A message from his chief technology officer. Attempt confirmed. Sophisticated spoofing attack. Origin masked offshore. Loss prevented by last-minute verification. Estimated exposure, $4.8 million. Michael locked his screen slowly. $4.8 million reduced to a line of text. Strange how money worked. Years to earn. Seconds to lose. One sentence to save. He looked up again. Claire was at another table helping an elderly couple decide between apple pie and cheesecake. Patient, respectful, completely present with them, as if CEOs and cyber fraud did not exist in her world. When the check arrived at his table, he did something unusual. He did not sign it immediately. Instead, he stood and walked toward the service station where she was organizing clean glasses. She noticed him approaching, but did not react with nervousness the way many employees did around powerful customers. She simply met his eyes calmly. "Is everything satisfactory with your meal?" she asked. "Professional. Neutral." He placed the leather check folder gently on the counter. "Yes," he said. Then after a brief pause, exceptional awareness. She gave a small, polite smile. "I'm glad everything worked out." He studied her again, trying to understand the gap between her job and her perception skills. "How far did you get in your studies?" he asked. 2 years, she answered. "Network security electives." "Why stop?" A tiny pause. Not uncomfortable, just honest. "Medical bills do not accept partial tuition payments," she said. "No bitternis, just reality." He nodded once, understanding more than she expected. "Do you still study?" he asked. She tapped lightly on her temple with one finger. "Every day. Free lectures. Old textbooks. Practice exercises online." That answer surprised him. Discipline without supervision. Effort without guarantee. Rare qualities. He reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a simple white business card. "No dramatic gesture. No announcement." He just placed it beside the check folder. "If you ever decide to return to that field," he said, "call that number." She did not touch it. "Not yet." "Why?" she asked simply. "Because talent should not depend on luck," he replied. She looked at the card, then back at him. "I was not trying to impress you." "I know," he said. "That is exactly why I am impressed." For a brief second, something warmer than professionalism appeared in her expression. Not excitement, not relief, just recognition. He nodded once and returned to his table. Claire finished polishing the glass in her hand before finally picking up the card. Harrington Technologies, Executive Office, Direct Line. She read it twice, then quietly placed it in her apron pocket. Not as a trophy, as a possibility. And for the first time in a long while, the future felt 1 inch closer than it had. That morning, Claire did not look at the card again until her shift ended. The last customers left just after 10:30. Chairs were lifted onto tables. The smell of fresh coffee faded into the scent of cleaning solution and lemon soap. The restaurant without people always felt different. Smaller, honest, like a stage after the audience had gone home. Claire wiped down table 14 last. Not because she had to, because she remembered everything that had happened there. Her manager counted receipts near the register. A cook laughed in the kitchen. Someone turned off half the lights. Ordinary endings to an ordinary night. She reached into her apron pocket and felt the edge of the card again. Still there, still real, not a dream. She sat for a moment on one of the empty booths. Just 60 seconds. Something she allowed herself only when nobody was watching. Harrington Technologies, Executive Office, Direct Line. She traced the letters with her thumb. Opportunities had come before. Promises too. Most disappeared by morning. She had learned not to build hope too quickly. Hope required evidence. She slipped the card into her wallet behind her identification. Not the front, not the place for important things yet. Just a maybe. Outside the air was cool. 54 degrees. A light wind moving through the quiet street. Her apartment was 9 blocks away. A 12-minute walk if she kept her usual pace. She liked walking. It gave her thoughts somewhere to go. Streetlights reflected on parked cars. Somewhere a train horn sounded 2 miles away. The city settling into its night rhythm. Halfway home, her phone buzzed. A calendar reminder she had set herself. Practice lab. 30 minutes. She smiled slightly. Even tonight. Especially tonight. Inside her small apartment, she placed her bag on the kitchen chair and opened her old laptop. For years old. Slight crack near the hinge. Still reliable. Like her. The screen filled with lines of code from a free cybersecurity training platform. Simulated phishing detection exercises. Pattern recognition drills. Things she never stopped practicing. She removed her shoes, sat cross-legged on the couch, began working through the scenarios one by one. Identify the anomaly. Trace the header path. Spot the false certificate. Same skills, different scale. 30 minutes became 50, then 60. Time moved differently when she studied. At 11:47, she finally closed the laptop. 1. Completed module. 92% accuracy. Not perfect. Progress. She poured herself a glass of tap water, stood by the small window overlooking the parking lot. For a moment, she allowed herself to think about what could happen if she called that number. Then she stopped herself. Tomorrow was still tomorrow. At that same moment, across the city, Michael Harrington sat in his home office reviewing the full incident report. 3 monitors glowing softly in the dark room. His security team had mapped the attempted breach. Professional, advanced, nearly successful. One line in the report stood out. Detection trigger, external human observation. He read it twice. External human observation. Not software, not artificial intelligence. A waitress. He leaned back in his chair, thinking not about the attack, but about discipline, about someone who kept learning without anyone watching. He opened a blank email, typed one sentence, then stopped, closed it. Some decisions required timing. Back in her apartment, Claire set her alarm for 6:30 in the morning. Another shift tomorrow. Same uniform, same tables, same invisible role. She turned off the light. The room went dark. But for the first time in years, she did not feel stuck where she was. Morning arrived quietly. 6:30 came too fast. Claire turned off the alarm before the second tone. Discipline did not allow snoozing. The small apartment was still cold from the night air. 61 degrees inside. She wrapped a light sweater around her shoulders and started coffee in a $12 machine that sometimes needed 2 tries. While the coffee brewed, she opened her laptop again. 20 minutes before work meant 20 minutes of practice. Today's exercise involved identifying fraudulent certificate chains. She read each line slowly. Careful, methodical, no ruse. At 7:10, she closed the computer, changed into her uniform, and tied her hair back the same way she always did. Simple, practical, predictable. Outside, the morning air carried the smell of rain that had not fallen yet. Traffic moved steadily. A delivery truck blocked half the street. Normal life beginning again. At Harrington Technologies, the same morning felt very different. Michael Harrington entered the building at 8 sharp. Glass walls, marble floors, controlled silence. His chief security officer was already waiting in the conference room. Screens displayed diagrams of the previous night's intrusion attempt, attack vectors, authentication failures, recovery timelines, millions of dollars of infrastructure, designed to prevent exactly what had almost happened. We are updating verification protocols, the officer explained. Additional human verification layers. Michael nodded once. Good, he said. Then after a pause, sometimes your best firewall is someone paying attention. The officer did not understand the comment, but wrote it down anyway. At 9:15, Michael reviewed a list of internship candidates for the summer cybersecurity rotation. Perfect grades, prestigious universities, impressive recommendations. He closed the file. Something about it felt incomplete. Predictable talent rarely surprised him. Unexpected talent did. He opened another window, typed Claire Bennett into a background search. Nothing unusual. Employment history consistent. Community college transcripts. 2 years completed. Strong technical marks. Withdrawn during a family financial event. He leaned back slightly. Pattern confirmed. At the restaurant, Claire arrived 10 minutes early as always. Her manager nodded approval. Reliability was currency here. The lunch shift began quietly. Office workers, 2 retirees, a mother with a young boy practicing multiplication facts out loud. At 11:40, the door opened and a familiar figure stepped inside. Not announced, not accompanied, just another customer in a well-cut navy suit. Claire noticed immediately, but did not react. Professional balance. Treat every guest the same. Michael chose table 12 this time. Different location. Same clear view of the room. She approached with a water glass. "Good afternoon," she said calmly. No surprise in her voice. No expectation either. "Good afternoon," he replied. "Coffee?" she asked. "Yes." She poured. Same steady hands. Same quiet awareness. He placed a thin folder on the table, but did not open it yet. "Did you practice last night?" he asked. Claire paused very slightly. Not shocked, just surprised he understood. "Yes," she answered. "Every night." He nodded. "Good." A small silence passed. Then he slid the folder toward the edge of the table. "This is not a job offer," he said. "It is a test." Claire looked at the folder, but did not touch it. "What kind of test?" she asked. His answer was simple. The kind that shows whether someone notices what others miss. For the first time that day, her curiosity showed. Claire did not open the folder immediately. Experience had taught her that important moments deserved a steady hand. She finished pouring coffee for another table, delivered a turkey sandwich with extra pickles, printed a receipt for a customer paying cash. Only when her section was stable did she return to table 12. Michael Harrington had not moved. He simply waited, watching without pressure, measuring patience as much as skill. Claire placed the folder flat on the table. "Do I have time limits?" she asked. "No," he said. "Real problems do not announce deadlines." She nodded slightly. That answer made sense to her. Inside the folder were 3 printed pages, an email sample, a transaction authorization form, a short system log extract. Nothing obviously dramatic. That was the first signal. Real threats rarely look dramatic. Her eyes moved slowly across the first page. She did not rush, did not try to impress, just read, line by line. Around her, the restaurant continued moving. Someone asked for more iced tea. A child dropped a crayon. The door opened and closed with the soft chime of new customers. Claire noticed everything, but her mind stayed on the paper. Michael watched something else. Not what she read. How she read. No nervous gestures. No guessing. Just careful observation. 5 minutes passed. Then 7. Claire turned to the second page. Her finger rested lightly near the margin as she compared details between documents. A habit from studying alone. Cross-reference before conclusion. At minute 9, she reached the third page. The system log. Timestamp sequences. Authentication requests. IP routing data. Most people would have skipped it. She did not. Her eyes narrowed slightly. Not confusion. Recognition. She closed the folder halfway. Thinking. Then opened it again. Checking one detail again. Then another. At minute 12, she looked up. "There are 2 problems," she said quietly. Michael did not react. "Tell me." She pointed to the email header. "The return path routing does not match the sending server location. Someone masked the geographic origin, but forgot latency consistency." He gave a small nod. "Correct." Second, she tapped the transaction form. The authorization language uses internal terminology from an older policy version. That means whoever wrote this used outdated documentation. Michael's expression did not change, but something behind his eyes did. Respect tends to arrive silently. "Anything else?" he asked. Claire hesitated, then turned to the log page again. "Yes," she said. "This login attempt." She pointed to one line. "This is not an external attacker." A small pause filled the space between them. "Why?" he asked. "Because the login timing matches employee shift patterns, and the access attempt happened 3 minutes after an internal password reset request." She closed the folder gently. "This looks like someone testing access from inside your organization." Silence followed. Not uncomfortable, just significant. Michael leaned back slightly, studying her the way architects study strong foundations. "You found all 3 flags," he said. Claire blinked once. 3. He turned the folder and pointed to a watermark inconsistency she had not mentioned. She looked, saw it instantly now, nodded once. "I missed that." "No," he said. "You prioritized correctly." A longer pause settled. Then he asked one final question. "Why did you keep studying after everything stopped?" Claire answered without hesitation. "Because stopping once was expensive enough." For the first time, Michael Harrington smiled slightly. Michael Harrington did not praise her. People at his level rarely did. Instead, he closed the folder slowly, as if confirming something to himself rather than to her. Around them, the lunch hour had grown busier. Conversations layered over each other. Plates moved. Credit cards tapped against check presenters. Claire instinctively stood, as she always did when a conversation reached its natural end, ready to return to work, ready to disappear back into motion. "Claire," he said. She paused, not because he used her name, because of the tone. It was different now. Less evaluation, more decision. "Yes, sir," she answered. He slid the folder back toward himself. "You saw what trained analysts sometimes miss," he said. "That is not common." Claire gave a small shrug. "I have made expensive mistakes before. I try to notice things earlier now." He studied her response carefully. No arrogance, no performance, just earned caution. "How many hours a week do you work here?" he asked. 42, she answered. "Sometimes 48 if someone is sick." "And you still study every night?" "Yes." "Why?" She answered simply. "Because opportunity rarely arrives when you feel ready." That answer stayed with him. Something about the way she said it suggested she had learned it the difficult way. A customer called her name from across the room. "Coming," she replied calmly. Then she looked back at Michael, waiting to see if he needed anything else. Always finishing one responsibility before starting another. He reached into his jacket again, this time not for a business card, for a sealed envelope. Plain, unmarked. He placed it on the table. "Open this after your shift," he said. Claire looked at it, but did not touch it yet. "What is it?" she asked. "Proof," he answered. "That consistency gets noticed." That was all he said. No explanation, no speech, just quiet certainty. She nodded once, accepted the envelope without ceremony, placed it beside the order terminal. Then she returned to her tables. The rest of the shift passed like any other. Orders, refills, "Thank you, have a good afternoon," small tips, exact change, nothing dramatic. But something inside her had shifted slightly. Not hope, not yet, just direction. At 3:15 her shift ended. She changed out her apron in the small employee break room. The envelope waited in her bag. She did not rush. Some answers deserved the right moment. Outside, she sat on the same bench she used most afternoons. Sunlight breaking through thin clouds. 70 degrees now. She opened the envelope carefully. Inside was a single sheet of heavy paper. Harrington Technologies Cybersecurity Development Program. Conditional Placement Evaluation. Interview invitation. 3 weeks from today. Her name printed cleanly at the top. Not handwritten, not casual, official, real. She read it twice, then a third time. At the bottom, one sentence stood alone. "Talent is discipline repeated when nobody is watching." Claire folded the letter slowly, placed it back inside. No tears, no dramatic reaction, just a long, steady breath. Across the city, Michael Harrington received a short message from his director of cybersecurity recruitment. Candidate added to observation track. He responded with only 3 words. "Watch the quiet ones." That evening, Claire opened her laptop again. Same practice platform, same exercises. But this time, the distance between where she was and where she could be felt measurable. 3 weeks can pass slowly when someone is waiting for a door to open. Claire treated those 21 days like preparation, not anticipation. Every morning, she woke at 6:30. Coffee, practice problems, work, study again at night. Repeat. No speeches, no announcements, just repetition, the kind nobody applauds. At the restaurant, nothing changed on the surface. Same customers, same menu specials written in blue marker, same sound of plates meeting tables. But Claire had begun noticing something different. Not the room, herself. Her questions were sharper, her reading faster, her confidence quieter. One afternoon, a new server struggled with the ordering tablet system. Claire showed her how to spot incorrect payment routing before submitting transactions. Simple advice, no mention of why she knew, just help given because it was needed. On the 20th night, before the interview, she stayed up later than usual reviewing network authentication flows. Midnight came, then 12:30. Finally, she closed the laptop, not because she was finished, because discipline also meant knowing when to rest. The morning of the interview arrived clear and bright. 68 degrees. Blue sky. She chose her only formal outfit. Navy blouse. Simple gray blazer. Black flats polished the night before. Professional did not require expensive. Only intentional. She checked the bus schedule twice. Left 40 minutes early. Arrived 12 minutes ahead of time. Harrington Technologies towered above the street. Glass reflecting the sky like possibility made solid. Inside the lobby, everything felt precise. Quiet conversations. Soft footsteps on marble. A receptionist greeted her with the same professionalism she used with everyone. That mattered to Claire. Respect without knowing status always mattered. She gave her name. The receptionist checked the list. Nodded. "They're expecting you." Those words settled something inside her. Not relief. Validation. In the elevator, Claire watched the floor numbers rise. 12, 15, 20. Each number a reminder that distance can be climbed one level at a time. On the 22nd floor, she was met by Daniel Brooks, Director of Cybersecurity Development. Mid-40s. Calm eyes. No wasted movement. "Claire Bennett," he said. "Right on time." "Yes, sir," she answered. He smiled slightly. "We prefer Daniel here." Small detail. Big message. This was a place that measured people by contribution, not ceremony. The interview room held 3 people. No intimidación tactics. No trick questions. Just a quiet screen displaying a live simulation environment. Daniel gestured toward the chair. "We are going to show you something imperfect," he said. "Tell us what you see." The simulation began. Network traffic, user requests, background processes. Claire did not rush. Same habit. Observe first. Speak second. Minutes passed. She asked for permission to zoom into packet behavior. They nodded. She traced one anomaly, then another. Her voice stayed calm. No performance, just explanation. After 30 minutes, the simulation ended. Silence filled the room. Then Daniel asked one final question. "What made you keep going after you had to stop school?" Claire answered the same way she always answered: truth. Because learning was the only thing nobody could take away twice. No one spoke for a moment. Then Daniel nodded. Slowly. Somewhere in the building, Michael Harrington received a short internal update. Candidate Claire Bennett completed evaluation. Assessment. Uncommon observational discipline. His response was simple. Continue process. Down the hall, Claire waited quietly. Hands folded, breathing steady. Not hoping, not fearing, just ready. Claire waited for 12 minutes outside the conference room. Long enough to think, not long enough to worry. She watched employees walk past with security badges and coffee cups. Some moved fast, some moved distracted. A few nodded politely. Nobody knew her story. That felt right. She preferred being evaluated for what she could do now. At 11:20, Daniel Brooks stepped out and gestured for her to return inside. His expression gave nothing away. Professional, neutral, earned calm. Claire sat again, hands folded lightly, ready for whatever came next. Daniel placed a single document on the table. "This is not a contract," he said. "It is a beginning." Claire looked down. Harrington Technologies Cybersecurity Development Program. Provisional acceptance. Training period 90 days. Performance review based continuation. Paid position. Her eyes moved carefully across each line. Not searching for celebration. Searching for responsibility. "You earned this," Daniel said. "Not because someone recommended you. Because you demonstrated how you think." Claire nodded slowly. "Thank you." No long speech. No dramatic reaction. Just respect for the opportunity. Daniel continued. "Your schedule will be demanding. 40 hours weekly training. Additional study expected. You will still need your current job during the first month while paperwork finalizes." Claire answered without hesitation. "I'm used to long weeks." He smiled slightly. "We noticed." As she left the building, the sunlight felt different. Not brighter, just clearer. She checked the time. 12:10. Her shift started at 1. Enough time to walk back. Enough time to think. She did neither. She simply moved forward. Back at the restaurant, her manager looked up as she entered. "You were early," he said. Claire nodded. "I had an appointment." He studied her face for a moment. Noticed something steady there. "Good news." Claire allowed a small smile. "Yes." He nodded once. Then keep going. That was all. The afternoon passed like any other. Orders, refills, receipts. But now every small task felt connected to something larger. Not escape, progress. That evening, just before closing the door open again, Michael Harrington stepped inside quietly. No announcement, no entourage. Claire noticed him immediately. Same awareness, same calm. She approached. Good evening, she said. Coffee? Yes, he answered. She poured. Same steady hand. He watched her for a moment. How did it go? He asked. I was accepted into the training program, she said. No pride in her tone, just fact. He nodded once. Not surprised. Good, he said. A brief silence passed. Then Claire added something unexpected. Thank you for seeing what I could become before I could prove it. Michael considered that, then shook his head slightly. No, he said. You proved it before anyone was looking. That answer stayed with her. As he prepared to leave, he said one last thing. Do not try to be impressive. Claire met his eyes. What should I try to be? He answered simply, consistent. She nodded, because she understood that word better than most. After he left, Claire finished wiping down the last table, turned off the lights, stepped outside into the cooling night air. The city sounded the same, but she was not. And sometimes the biggest change is not when someone notices you. It is when you realize you were never invisible at all.